the second part of the same lesson, means lesson 4, le plaisir de lire. Venir plus the, de plus infinitive. Which form is that? That is passé raison, which is near past. Passé raison. Venir plus de plus infinitive. If you say, je viens de m'inscrire, means I have just enrolled myself. Je viens de m'inscrire means I have just enrolled myself. But here, the is not there. In that case, the translation will be, je viens m'inscrire, I come to enroll myself. And the second verb, that is inscrire, that is in infinitive form. And the change here, what occurred here is ma, m apostrophe. That means ma is the reflexive pronoun of the subject je. Now, can you recollect the reflexive pronouns? That means the pronouns which are used with reflexive verbs. Ma, ta, sa, nu, vu, sa. Third person, irrespective of number and gender, will take the reflexive pronoun sa. Now, when you do it here with another verb, that means here you can see two verbs. In that case, the second one will be in infinitive, but you got to change the reflexive pronoun according to the subject. That is why ma is given here. Je viens m'inscrire, I come to enroll myself. Voici ma carte d'identité. Here is my ID card. Now, what is ma here? Ma is possessive adjective. Which are the possessive adjectives? Ma, ta, sa, notre, votre, leur. Then that is for feminine gender. Now for masculine, mon, ton, son, notre, votre, leur. And the plural form, mes, tes, ses, nos, vos, leur. L'autorisation de mes parents, the authorization of my parents, est une quittance d'électricité and an electricity bill. Now, what is needed? What are the documents needed for enrolling your name? What are the documents needed? Carte d'identité, ID card. L'autorisation de mes parents, authorization of parents, and une quittance d'électricité means an electricity bill. These are the documents needed for enrollment to take the membership. C'est parfait. It's perfect. Tout y est. Everything is there. Je vais te donner ta carte de lecture. I'm going to give you. Vais donner. Again, future proche. That is definitely going to happen. And you can see te. What is te? To you. That is, which form of the pronoun is te? Indirect object pronoun. Where will you use indirect object pronoun? Which are the indirect object pronouns? Ma, te, lui. Ma means to me. Te means to you. Lui means to him, to her, to it. Nous to us. Vous to you. And leur to them. And here it is indirect object pronoun. Where to use indirect object pronoun? Indirect object pronouns are used with verbs of communication. Which are the verbs of communication? I gave a short name, that is Peter Mots. There are 11 verbs in that, and when you expand each letter, you will get the 11 indirect object pronouns. And don't think only these 11 verbs will take indirect object pronoun. No, there are enough and more, but these 11 verbs are the common ones which you got to use in this book. So, je vais te donner ta carte de lecture. I'm going to give you the membership card. Now next. Pour s'inscrire et obtenir votre carte de lecture, il suffit que vous veniez avec. To enroll yourself and to obtain your membership card, it is sufficient that you come with une pièce d'identité, an ID card, Une autorisation des parents, authorization of the parents. Une quittance d'électricité ou de loyer, an electricity bill or an electricity bill and a rent bill. So these are the documents needed for obtaining membership card. Now there can be a question based on this. Please write down. Quelles sont, Quelles, quelles sont, SONT, les formalités, les, LES, FORMALITEQS, formalité pour, 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 avoir, 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 une, UNE, carte, 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 de, DE, lecture, LECTEUR. I repeat, quelles sont les formalités pour avoir une carte lecture? What are the formalities to obtain membership card? So you can write, les formalités pour avoir une carte lecture sont une pièce d'identité, une autorisation des parents et une quittance d'électricité ou de loyer. This is the answer. Now, coming to the next page, page 33. Tu vois, avec la carte, on peut emporter chez soi des livres, des CD ou DVD, des films, des jeux vidéo. You see, with a membership card, what all things, what is the, what can you do with the membership card? You see, with the membership card, we can borrow or can read the books there itself in the library itself. Then they say CDs, DVD, DVD, film and video games. You see, with the membership card, we can borrow chez soi des livres. We can borrow and take home. Borrow and take home the books, CDs, DVDs, films and video games. Mais on peut aussi lire ou écouter sur place. But we can also read and listen in the library itself. Sur la place means in the library itself. You can either take it home or read in the library. Je vais choisir une bande BD. I'm going to choose a good cartoon. BD is the abbreviation of bande dessinée. Et moi, un documentaire sur les plantes carnivores. And myself, a documentary about carnivorous plants. What is carnivorous? Carnivorous and herbivorous, you know that. Carnivorous is animal eating. Et tu te plais ici? You like it here? Si tu veux, if you want, je peux te sortir. If you want, I can borrow it for you. Ce livre, this book, I can borrow it for you. This book, pour cette fois, for this time. If you want, I can borrow this book for you this time. Tu t'inscriras la prochaine fois. You will enroll. You can enroll the next time. What is the word for next time? La prochaine fois. La prochaine fois means next time. Now, la bibliothèque propose. The library proposes des romans, novels, des livres dimanche, picture books, des contes, stories, de la poésie, poems, then des BDs, bandes dessinées, cartoons, des livres, books, et des documents pour répondre aux questions. And that is a reference book. Des documents pour répondre. Document for replying to the question. That means a reference book. Que vous posez sur tous les sujets. Which you ask for all the subjects. The reference books of all the subjects are available in the library. They reviews. They films. They CDs ou DVD. DVDs. Déjà vidéo means video games. Venez à la bibliothèque pour choisir des livres à emporter chez vous, mais aussi pour lire et travailler sur place. Come to the library to choose the books and to borrow, to take it home, but you can also read in the workplace. Hope you understood le plus que parfait. Do you remember plus que parfait? I'll repeat. Plus que parfait is past perfect tense. When to use it? When two actions are going on in the past, the first action will be in plus que parfait. What is the formula? Imparfait of the auxiliary plus past participle of the verb. So now we continue with the same lesson. Take page number 34, 34. 34. Now, le petit prince. Lis le texte. Read the text. Denny. This is a conversation between Dennis and Pauline. Denny. Hier, quand je suis rentré chez moi, j'étais vraiment fatigué parce qu'on avait beaucoup travaillé au lycée. Now, this lesson is about the Little Prince. The author of Little Prince is Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. You can see at the ending part, the author's name is given, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Le Petit Prince, Gallimard, 1999. How do you read 1999? 19, 99. Okay, the author here, the story is about the author itself. When the author was young, he used to draw. He used to draw very much, and in his childhood, he drew a picture which is shown here. At the bottom, you can see a picture which looks like a hat. Actually, it is not a hat, but a boa constrictor. Boa constrictor means the king cobra, swallowing and wolf. If you look at the picture, you can see that. So, once it swallows its prey, it cannot chew. It is swallowing and it will be there in its stomach, and for 6 months it will be hibernation. It takes 6 months to get it digested. So now we'll pass on to this. Hier, quand je suis rentré chez moi, when I returned to my house, je suis rentré. Suis rentré is passé composé of the verb rentrer. Means the action is completed there. When I returned to my house, when I returned, the action is complete. That is passé composé. J'étais vraiment fatigué. I was really tired. Parce qu'on avait beaucoup travaillé au lycée. Because we had much work to do. We had much work to do. As because we had work, they are tired. So the first action is doing the work. Because of the work, they have become tired. Okay. Pauline, et moi aussi, and me too. J'étais épuisé quand je suis retourné du lycée car j'avais eu une longue journée. And me too, I was exhausted. Épuisé means to get exhausted. I was exhausted when I returned from the school, for I had a long day. Means a busy day. Le soir, in the evening, j'ai lu un roman intéressant. I read an interesting novel. Le Tour du Monde en 80 jours de Jules Verne. Of course, you know what it is. I read an interesting novel. What is that novel? Around the World in 80 Days. It's a famous novel. You might have read it by Jules Verne. Danny. Ah oui, je l'avais vu hier sur la table. Yes, of course, yesterday I had seen it on my table. Had seen it on my table. Avait vu, again, plus que parfait, of the verb voir. View is the past participle of the verb voir. And the auxiliary of voir is avoir. Moi aussi, je viens de lire un roman formidable. Me too. I just read. Viens de lire. That means passé raison of the verb lire. I've just read a fantastic novel, Le Petit Prince d'Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, Little Prince of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Est-ce que tu l'as lu? Have you read it? Toi aussi. You too. Have you read it? Pauline. Oui, je l'avais lu il y a longtemps. Yes, I had read it long time ago. Il y a longtemps. Il y a means ago. You know, il y a has two different meaning. Here, il y a means ago and otherwise. For example, il y a un livre sur la table. There's a book on the table. There, it has a meaning there is. But here, ago. Il y a longtemps. Long time ago. C'est une histoire intéressante. It's an interesting story. J'adore lire. Tu sais, I like to read. You know, I like to read. Denis. Moi aussi, me too. Quand je m'étais inscrit à la bibliothèque, j'ai emprunté beaucoup de romans, de revues et de magazines. La lecture, c'est ma passion. When I had enrolled in the library, I borrowed many novels, reviews, magazines, and reading notes. Reading, la lecture, c'est ma passion. Reading is my passion. Now, one thing you have to notice here is, j'ai emprunté beaucoup de romans. Again, with the review also, the is repeated. So, with each noun, you have to repeat the. That is expression of quantity, beaucoup de, many. So, the should be repeated with each noun. So, la lecture is reading. That is a noun form of the verb lire. Lire is to read. It's a verbal form. And the noun form of lire is la lecture, reading. Reading is my passion. Voilà un extrait du livre. Here is an extract of the book. Lorsque j'avais 6 ans, j'ai vu. When I was 6 years old, I saw. What happened in the past? Avait. Avait is in which form? Imparfait form. But I saw, j'ai vu, that is in passé composé. What happened is being expressed in imparfait, and what action which is completed. I saw. After seeing, the action is completed. That is in passé composé. When I was 6 years old, I saw une fois une magnifique image. When once upon a time, when I was 6 years, I saw a magnificent picture. Dans un livre sur la forêt vierge qui appelait Histoire vécue. In a book about rainforest, which is called Real Life Story. Histoire vécue means real life story. Ça représentait un serpent beau qui avalait un fauve. It represented a boa constrictor, means a king cobra, which swallowed an wolf. Voilà la copie du dessin. Here is a copy of the drawing. On disait dans le livre. They say in the book, les serpents beaux avalent leur proie tout entière. The boa constrictors swallow, avaler, A-V-A-L-E-R. Avaler is to swallow their prey as a whole. Sans la manger, without chewing it. What is manger? Manger is to chew. But la is direct object pronoun. La is referred to the noun proa. So what the boa constrictors do, it will swallow the prey whole as it is. Ensuite, il ne peut plus bouger. Once it swallows the prey, it cannot move. Then they no more be able to move. Bouger, B-O-U-G-R, bouger, to move. Et ils dorment pendant les 6 mois de leur digestion. And they sleep for 6 months. They'll be in hibernation for 6 months to get it we just digested. And they, la digestion is a noun form. J'ai alors beaucoup réfléchi sur les aventures de la jungle et then I recollected about the adventures of the jungle, and à mon tour, in my turn, j'ai réussi. I passed with a crayon de couleur. I succeeded. Réussir has two different meanings. To succeed as well as to pass. Here it is succeed. I succeeded. Here again it is passé composé. Passé composé of réussir. R-E, acute U-S-S-I-R. And auxiliary is avoir. Succeed what? You have an object. So avoir is auxiliary. I succeeded with a color crayon. À tracer mon premier dessin. To trace my first drawing. So the author himself is drawing it. Mon dessin numéro 1. The first design. So the author's name is Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, La Petite Prince, Gallimard, 1990. This you have to study. You don't have to study the whole thing. Just understand the verbs and noun forms.
Okay, ready.
Okay, now you take page number 34. After reading this cartoon, you got to answer these questions. Coche la bonne réponse. I'll read it for you. Ce texte est, this text is un conte, un texte publicitaire, un reportage. You have to find out and tick it. Ce texte s'adresse this text addresses to the jeunes, youngsters, professors, enfants, children. Dans le texte on parle, in the text we speak, des devoirs des enfants, the work of the children, des écoles, school, des bibliothèques, libraries. Complète avec des mots du texte. Complete with the words from the text. Pour avoir une carte de lecture, to get a membership card, il faut it is necessary to have, it is given there, what is that? Une dash, carte d'identité. You read it and fill up by yourself. Carte d'identité, une dash. Autorisation des parents, étude, dash. Quittance d'électricité ou loyer. De la bibliothèque, from the library, on peut emprunter, we can borrow des dash. Livres, des CD ou DVD, des dash. Et des magasins. Dash est un roman policier français. Tom Sawyer is a French detective novel. So do it by yourself. And in page number 35, rempli par un mot du texte. Again, you have to fill up the word from the text. This you have to do it by yourself. Il a dash or son baccalauréat. The word to be filled is in the text itself. Quand j'ai pris sa photo, when I took this photo, his photo or her photo or its photo. Quand j'ai pris is the passé composé form of the verb prendre. Pris is the irregular form. Pris is the past participle of the verb prendre. And what is the auxiliary of prendre? Avoir. Quand j'ai pris sa photo, la crocodile dash un lapin. The crocodile dash un lapin. Il a mené une vie pleine de dash. Le serpent a attaqué la rate et dash il l'a avalé. Il ne peut plus dash le champ après l'accident. So the words to be filled here is given in the text itself. Read the text thoroughly and fill up with the correct words. Next on the page. Trouve dans le texte la forme nominale des verbes suivants. Find in the text the noun form of the following verbs. Digérer is to digest. So you know the noun form which we came across in the text. Dessiner, to draw. That also is given in the text. Lire, to read. That I already gave the word. Now coming to the next page, 37, 37. Conjugue les verbes au plus que parfait ou au passé composé. Conjugate the verbs in plus que parfait or passé composé. Lorsque les élèves dash finir leur examen, ils dash s'amuser bien. When you get a question like this, first you find out the first action. Just look at the sentence. Which is the first action? When the students finish the exams, ils enjoy well. When do they enjoy? Before the exam or after the exam? They enjoy well after the exam. After the exam. The first action is finir. Finir should be in plus parfait. Aussitôt qu'elle dash rentrer de son voyage. As soon as she, what is rentrer? To return. Return from her trip, elle dash rencontrer son directeur. She rencontrer to meet her director. Which is the first action? Which is the first action? Returning after a trip, she meets her director. So the first action, rendre, should be in plus parfait, and rencontrer should be in passé composé. Do it by yourself. Quand Nicolas dash lire le roman, when Nicolas read the novel, il la prête à son ami. He returns it to his friend. So which is the first action? Reading the novel, then returning, that is prête. So the first one is plus parfait, that is lire. Then prête will be in passé composé. Dès que nous dash entendre, as soon as we hear la nouvelle, the news, nous téléphoner à notre professeur. We telephone our professor. First action, that is hearing the news. That should be in plus parfait. Then put téléphoner in passé composé. Quand Odette dash sonner à la porte. When Odette rings the bell, sonner à la porte means to ring the bell. Son ami dash déjà partir. His friend has already left. So which is the first action here? First action is friend leaving, then only ringing the bell. So friend leaving, that should be in plus parfait, and the other one should be in passé composé. Now next there's a poem. Lis ce poème et raconte l'histoire. You don't have to study this poem and all, but just study the author's name. Le renard et les raisins. The fox and the grapes. I hope you know the story of fox and the grapes. And the author's name is La Fontaine, les Fables. Livre 3, Fable. This you have to study the author. Now turn to the next page. Jean de La Fontaine, Le Renard et les Raisins is the author. Now Fable indienne du Panchatantra. Now Indian stories, Indian fables of Panchatantra. What is Panchatantra? Pancha means 5. C'est une collection de contes et de fables sanskrit. It's a collection of stories and Sanskrit fables. En cinq pancha means 5 livres. Pancha Tantra. 5 is 5 and Tantra is livre. In 5 books. Elle a peut-être été réunie au 5e siècle par le savant Vishnu Sharma. Perhaps it was reunited in the 5th century by the learned or well-known Vishnu Sharma. He only reunited all these 5 fables together and made to Panchatantra. So you can write a question. What do you know? What is Panchatantra? Qu'est-ce que c'est le Panchatantra? Qu'est-ce que c'est le Panchatantra? You can write a sentence. C'est une collection de contes et de fables sanskrit en 5 livres. Elle a peut-être été, perhaps it was reunited, réunie au 5e siècle par le savant Vishnu Sharma. This is the answer. Now we have a few exercise, you have to do it by yourself. Just study all these and try to do this. We'll discuss the answers in the next class.